on a hot dog. Welcome to the Double Platinum Podcast. Howdy, folks. Drew Robertson coming at you live. Well, live for me, not live for you. And joining me, as he always is and always shall be, is my good friend and co-host, Aaron Carter. What's happening, Captain?
Not too much, just having on a hamburger. Am I right? Over in the studio, we got very talented Jordan Shore, EDM artist.
Our lovely guest for today.
Yeah,
I feel bad that I don't have like a meat-related thing to do that all you guys did.
Well, he
Just
said
meat between two buns.
he said hell and hot dogs, so I thought having hamburgers really.
There you go.
Like,
guess you could do,
we're the buns and you are the meat. Is that weird? Is that a weird
You
thing
could have
that we're
said
doing on?
purgatory pogos, but
There you go. And then we got all three levels covered. Perfect.
All right,
there you
perfect.
go.
I mean, I don't know that hot dogs are that bad. I mean, I could actually go for look, it's noon. I'm fucking hungry.
I'm sure it
like,
could because I mean I woke up not too long ago and I haven't eaten yet.
So there you go.
Sure.
Her perfect balanced breakfast for the growing college student is hamburgers and beer or cold pizza and beer. I mean,
Yep.
Or pogos.
You know what it is? Okay, let's we're gonna start this on a really weird note, but like
I'm down for that.
this is so. It's should be well known that I'm quite a bit older than Aaron or Jordan actually is our guest or anybody else.
Drew's
There's
45 years old.
Yeah,
by
no,
the
I'm
way.
145 years old. I've been podcasting literally since the
He
dawn
made
of
the
time.
first podcast.
Yeah.
He invented it.
I invented it. If you
Every
go
time
back,
every time somebody records a podcast, they owe him money for royalties.
exactly. I should be. You know what? I'm secretly a billionaire. Psych. I just didn't tell you guys that.
Huh.
No. So
Want to give me some money then?
no.
Okay.
So anyway, there's this weird thing that you do when you like graduate undergrad, university, or college is the case, where you're like have this weird thing where like all of a sudden now you're an adult, and it's like I have to pay bills and do taxes, and you can't live off of a diet that is solely like nachos, chicken wings, and beer anymore. I know, and our engineer in the control booth is looking at me like, that's a lie. Don't tell me that, man.
I dread
But
that
it's
day.
true. It's 100% true. Like, you have this weird thing where, like, I'm an independent adult and I eat nothing but chicken wings and beer.
You know what I eat every morning?
What do you eat?
Yogurt and granola. How
See,
adult
you're
is
way
that?
healthier than I am.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. I don't drink alcohol. I eat pretty well. I like sugary drinks, so that's my only downfall. You know what?
I have too
Actually,
many
I
vices.
want to talk about
What do you want
relating
to
to
talk
food, and it's like the amount of like disgusting products that are in variety stores and like in
Oh my
vending
God.
machines and stuff.
Hell
I feel
yeah.
like everything. So many problems arise from energy drinks. I feel like.
No,
I'm
that's
a
a
very
legit thing.
anti-energy drink person.
Yeah.
Like it's literally got like it's like a heart attack in a can. No one needs that much energy.
No, what is
You
what?
naturally have that much
But
energy.
they are tasty. I'll give them
Yeah,
that
do you think
much.
people like 1,000 years ago needed a monster to get up and do the shit?
No, but they had readily access to cocaine.
Yeah.
1,000 years ago they had
Okay,
access to
1,000 years ago.
cocaine?
Okay, but like cocoa plants have been growing by like so. Look at South America.
But when has that ever been like the other option? Like, oh, I'm gonna start my day off with a coffee or a fucking big old line of cocaine. You know what I mean? Like, that's
What is
not
the
really?
80s?
Yeah. Well, this isn't the 80s anymore. So cocaine isn't as
But
popular.
it's still the music industry. So
Sounds
I
like
mean,
a great time.
No, so you're saying about like crappy food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like
You know, crappy food and cocaine, they kind of go together.
exactly. Well, hey, you
Sure.
ever wonder what's in a powdered sugar donut? I guarantee it's not just sugar.
Yeah, those things are
Um,
damn good.
They are ridiculously good. I'll give them that much.
Or Tim Hortons coffee, because we're Canadian is all hell in this show.
And the Timbs
um,
outside the studios could sometimes be lined up like 75 people deep.
Oh yeah, no, like that's you want to see what the drug dealers really are in Canada? Go find a Tim Hortons and tell me that's not like people go. I need my coffee, man. Like just like inject it right into my veins, so I don't need to drink it.
The sad part is a lot of people actually joke about stuff like that. Just, oh yeah, just give me a coffee intravenous and I'll be good.
Yeah,
it's like-
yeah. Never mind that would literally kill you, not
Yeah.
figuratively, literally kill you.
Yep.
Blood is the only thing that meant to be running in your veins, in case anybody's wondering. But this isn't music related.
No.
But it is sort of music related because, like, how is it that we have like 6-hour sessions of studio work or like longer, and like there is two things that you are running on at the end of that: adrenaline and pure force of will, or caffeine.
I actually remember me and
So three things.
a friend of mine, Matt, were working on a track. I had studio time from Studio 1, which is the big studio for those of you who don't know in the school here, from 8 at night until 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that's
That's
just
a
It was
good-
ridiculous.
That's a good
I got there. I was supposed to be helping some friends record piano, but they bailed. So I was like, all right, I guess I have the studio time now.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that from 8 until 11. I had
that
this-
was last week, right?
I had the slot from 11 to 2, and then Matt had the 2 to 5.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jordan, you, like I said, are an EDM artist.
Yes.
You like making some pretty tight beats.
Mhm.
If you had to pick like one or two genres that you kind of represent yourself as and market yourself as, what would those two genres kind of be?
Probably progressive house, and second one would be electro house, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Alright.
So like
yeah,
very,
just a little bit of context.
very popular
Yes.
genres.
I do have more of a mainstream sound. I will give you that.
mhm.
Hey man, that's how you make money.
It's what originally got me into the industry, was that kind of sound. So
Well,
that's what I
and
make.
man,
Yeah.
if that's the music you like, doesn't matter if it's mainstream. You like it, and then make what you like.
Exactly.
And another thing I want to say, when you go into the studio to record like piano and stuff, are you a big fan of like sampling stuff, like recording real instruments, and or?
I do want to start incorporating them more in my productions because we do have, obviously you get the realism from an instrument that you can't get from a VST.
Absolutely.
So like recording a real piano, it's never going to compare to a piano
Oh,
plugin
yeah.
unless you have like a contact library of like a sampled piano.
A beautiful one too.
Yeah,
Exactly,
like
but
like
even then-
production voices from
Exactly.
Jason Chapman.
Shameless plug for a teacher.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, like unless you have something like that, you're never going to get the
No,
realism of
absolutely
a real
not.
piano.
yeah,
And like
no,
when you
I
get it,
feel
we
you.
talked a little bit about this last episode with sample libraries and just how like good sample libraries will be like literally a hard drive
Yeah,
with information.
It'll be like 500 gigabytes of
That's
samples.
actually kind of where I was leading this, where I wanted this conversation to
Perfect.
go into.
It's almost like we had that planned.
with samples
We
and
100%
sampling
did,
instruments.
don't lie.
So everyone is well aware of like, well, at least everybody in this room right now is aware of what a contact library is,
Yeah.
or a sample library. Contact is just a very common plugin that libraries are used for.
Mhm.
So for anybody at home who doesn't know what a library is, or what
A sample
contact
library.
is, sample library, sorry. So what a sample library is it's essentially a virtual instrument. So and by the way, if I mess up this at all, I expect
No,
you
no,
guys
I'll,
to
I'll jump in. I can, I
clear
can
it,
tag
yeah.
in. We can just like,
Um,
tag team.
So like a
We got
sample
3 of us
library.
here. We're sure we can figure it
Yeah,
out.
it's like a virtual instrument essentially. So someone would go out and record the sounds of, say, let's go with a piano, and
Yeah.
then they would kind of import the sounds into the
whatever
yeah.
software. but,
yeah
like,
whatever software they're using, and they kind of remap the keys to the sound. So
yeah, like you're getting into it's so many different areas too. Like it's not just like you might just say, well, then how is that different than sampling, right? Like, I'm
Mhm.
gonna take my recorder out in the field and do something. This is like next level. Like you
Yeah.
can do that, but if you're gonna do something like for the contact is actually a player for those that aren't aware. It loads other instruments internally, so you can have everything ranging from a piano, like Aaron's talked about,
to an orchestra.
or to a full orchestra. And when I say full orchestra, I mean like 100+ players, big cinematic sounding orchestra. Like some of the orchestral work you hear in movies,
Mhm.
if it sounds a little clean and cut, that's probably because
It's a contact
it's
library.
contact.
Yep.
Oh,
they
yeah.
made that using software. It's not. I mean, it was real players at one time, but it's not like say a John Williams or
Oh,
Hans
God, no.
Zimmer going out with their orchestra. Like the reason something like Star Wars, we talked about movies like
Yeah.
a couple
Mhm.
episodes
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
Star Wars sounds so good because John Williams, the man himself, stood there and conducted a whole friggin' orchestra
Yep.
and did it, right? And it
And they
sounds
recorded
amazing.
it all.
Mhm.
And like sure, I can do that whole thing in a computer, but it doesn't sound real. And
Well, it'll
and
sound real to a certain extent.
to a certain
It
extent,
won't
yeah,
have
absolutely.
like the human aspect.
No,
of it,
and
because
like
at the end
for
of the day,
for the quality of a movie, you're
Mhm.
good enough, right? Like,
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you are still sequencing yourself in a computer, so it's going to have kind of like a,
absolutely.
sequenced
Robotic.
feel to
Yeah.
it.
absolutely, 100%. And like as computers get better, it's gonna get better
Mhm.
as it goes along. Especially when we're quantum computing and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. We were talking about this morning actually.
See, what I was gonna say is like when I got into music first, like when I was thinking of like sounds and samples and like how everything worked was like, I thought you literally had to download that sound. So
Yeah.
I have like 40 gigs of like just sound files, like
Yes.
individual like
Loops or samples, right?
Yeah, like one hits of random things.
Yeah.
And it's just like I thought this is how it would like you take the sound, throw it on the piano roll, and kind of.
Mhm.
But no, there's an entire sample library that's like even crazier, and they're
Yep.
huge. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
like
Massive.
500 gigs of sample libraries.
it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
like my loop library alone is somewhere close to 100 gigabytes.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes people like Sony makes their whole digital sound library, which is rather than something like Contact where you have a piano instrument, they might have the individual construction kit. So like I want an A sharp on a Steinway grand piano, and it's just a 3-second clip, and then I can stitch it together and do whatever I want with it. Or they've got something there. One of the coolest things I found is called Drums on Demand. And Drums on Demand is like 9 volumes of
Drums on demand.
yeah, but
There you
rather
go.
than doing it like So obviously, you know, if you're working with something like Contact, I can use a Studio Drummer or better yet, Steven Slate drums. Or if I'm, you know, not a filthy scrub, I can actually record a real drum kit, right? If you have the option. I mean, not to Josh people that use that kind of stuff at all, because when you're doing hip hop and stuff, you don't always want a real drummer. You want
that sequence feel.
Absolutely, because that's what gives it that kind of drive and underlying sound, right?
Yep.
But why not, rather than using a shit MIDI drum, why not use something like Slate Drummer, right?
Oh, for sure.
But
it is real drums that recorded.
which were real drums recorded and sampled and very high quality.
And a lot of libraries, you talk about like real instruments being sampled and stuff. It's like the convenience with these libraries is not everybody can go out, play a drum kit, or has access to a drum kit, or has access to an entire symphony to record. Or even the time to arrange to get everyone together to record. That's just ridiculous.
And you don't. It doesn't require. So I have mixed feelings on this, because especially when it comes to symphonic stuff, I'm a classical player, and there's no theory required to be a symphony composer. Right? Not really. You can go purely on ear alone and go, well, that note sounds wrong, I'll just move it. You've got no idea why or how it sounds wrong. But you can make, using Contact, an entire orchestral arrangement for a movie and have not a good fucking idea of why it works or how it works. You just played notes for 3 weeks until it sounded right, and there you go.
That's the whole thing. It took you 3 weeks to get there. Whereas if you had a theory knowledge, it could have taken you like 1 session.
Yeah. Right?
That's another thing I can
put together a basic orchestral arrangement in a day or two.
Exactly. I feel like that's another interesting topic that I feel like needs to be addressed more, is that, like, especially in my area of field with like dance music people, I see a lot of comments of people saying, I don't want to learn music theory because I feel like it's going to limit my creativity. And honestly, like, you couldn't be more wrong in saying that, in my opinion.
No, absolutely not.
People say that?
Yes, people actually say that.
That's because it's ignorance, right?
What?
It's ignorance. Yeah, exactly.
It's and like I maybe we are gonna offend people with that, but like, it's music theory is important.
It's extremely important.
What they're doing though is they're tying creativity together with lack of knowledge.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're putting those two things together. That's not how it works
way.
at all. It's
no,
like,
you can get more creative once you know.
You don't
how it
go
works.
in to draw a masterpiece or paint a masterpiece and not know how to paint. You know what I mean?
You don't go into painting without watching Bob Ross first.
Absolutely.
Our man Bob Ross.
Our man BR.
Okay, back to this music theory thing, though. I feel like the easiest, most simplest way to describe it to somebody is music theory doesn't limit your creativity. It kind of more or less shows you what's wrong so you can avoid it.
Well,
that's the way I explain it to
here's
people.
the way I always like to think of it. And like, my analogy for symphonic music has always been that to like a painter, like we were talking about Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bob Ross.
Fantastic show.
Absolutely.
It's just a happy little show. So anyway, as the conductor, you're still the painter, right? Different medium.
Yeah.
The instruments are your paint, and your baton for conductors is your paintbrush.
Yeah.
And by conducting them, you are conducting different paints into this intangible picture, right? That's the way I've sort of always thought of it. And so knowing musical theory is like knowing how to make a different shade of red.
Yeah.
Right? I can put a C major chord, but if I know music theory, I can invert it and do all sorts of crazy stuff to it. And that's where that challenge comes in. It takes your Crayola box from an eight color crayon box to a
64,
64
or 128
or 128. Shout sample rates. Sorry, I don't know what that was. A bad joke. We'll just anyway. But you get my meaning, though, right?
I know
like
exactly what
music
you're
theory
talking
is
about.
something that once you know the rules, that's when you can say, "Fuck it, I can do whatever I like," right?
It also adds to like the typical like DJs don't know what the fuck they're doing type of deal.
Oh yeah.
It's like, man, you guys are really painting such a bad photo of yourself, or bad
Brings the
bad
music
picture of
industry down,
yourself.
man.
It
If
does.
you're like, oh yeah, I like to make music, but music theory isn't important because
no,
it's
that's-
gonna lack my creativity. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck did you actually just say?
It's like trying to paint a masterpiece or like something that actually looks like visually good. It's like trying to paint a visual masterpiece using your fingers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it
Exactly.
could be done. It just would take a ridiculous
Oh
amount
yeah,
of
it's just
effort.
like if you give a monkey a typewriter in an unlimited amount of time, he's gonna type up the
Exactly,
world's best
right?
book.
You'll make
There you go.
Yeah.
It's gonna take them forever to get there, but
Exactly. he
but
can
they
do
will
it.
get there. Much like our podcast, we might wander off the point for a while, but the monkeys of our brains will eventually bring it back to
Hey,
the
we're
correct
still
path.
Absolutely.
talking about music theory. It's relevant.
It is
Absolutely.
relevant.
It's like last night. I was just like, hey, screw it. Let's just throw in a flat minor two in this progression,
There you go.
Bam. And it works.
It's
and it did work.
It can work, and like music theory is one of those things where you either get it or you don't. I think sometimes.
It's
can be
definitely
taught,
something.
right?
It's
It's either something that immediately clicks in your brain and go, oh yeah, well duh, that makes sense, or you're like, I teacher, I got a question, hand in the air. You just said a whole bunch of bullshit, and I have no idea what it meant. And then it might take you a little while to get there, right?
Yeah.
I suppose it's like learning everything though in that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's like that, and like that can be applied to any area of expertise, right? You can.
Mhm.
I feel like one thing that kind of like hinders a lot of people from learning it though is that as opposed to it is a very like academic topic in a sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to like sit down and study.
Yeah.
I feel like that
it's-
kind of that's a big turnoff for a lot of
it's-
people.
it- That's the thing with like a lot of things. That's like exactly what I mean with like right back to what you're talking about with that guy saying I don't want to learn music theory. 'cause
Exactly.
It's people being lazy. They don't want to learn. They don't want to put in the work, but they want the outcome. They want
Mhm.
the result, but they don't want to put in the work. Which is
Exactly.
like, music's one of those things
That's
where
why-
like, unless you're a prodigy or something, you have to put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Mhm. Otherwise, you're just gonna give up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like
'cause
not
it's
everybody
tough.
can have perfect pitch and stuff like that. Like we're not talking about that kind of stuff. I don't know why I felt they need to clarify that
Just in
because there's
case.
people. I went again having gone a classical background. I know a lot of people that'll either claim to have perfect pitch and don't, or will claim that if you don't have perfect pitch, you can never be a true musician or some nonsense.
That's bullshit.
100%. You
Mhm.
can learn but there are limitations, and like there's things that are like, well, if you can't sing, you can never play. Man, you know what? I will 100% tell you right now, I can't sing. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's a court order that like disallows me from singing. Like it should be a crime against nature. Like I'm pretty sure there's war crime conventions against me singing.
Tomato.
Like that has nothing to do with me my ability to play any of my instruments.
Mhm.
I play them quite well as a point of fact,
Mhm.
but it's that belief. People believe a certain trope or idea because nobody's ever challenged them on it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Because they might have conservatory training. When if you do conservatory training, everybody plays grade 6 piano, everybody sings. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that,
Mhm.
and that's because that's their method.
Mhm.
And it's this illusion that only their method is the correct method. It's like, it'd be like I harp on you all the time for using FL
I
Studio.
know.
But that's your method, man. And if it
Exactly.
works, it friggin' works. Do what you gotta do. And it's still a perfectly viable way to make music.
Mhm.
I mean, your tracks sound really good.
Thank you.
And, like, it's not any different than using Pro Tools. Like, nobody should say to me, like, well, your music's terrible because you use Pro Tools. Or say to
Mhm.
me, well, you know what? You didn't use that minor second and a third inversion. Therefore, this song is bad. Teach their
You know
own,
what we
man.
say to
Yep.
those kinds of people, Drew? Go fuck yourself.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
what we say to those kinds of people.
Hate, as the wise man once said, haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate.
Um,
Ainers gonna ain't.
And
Was that as the wise woman Taylor Swift once said, "Got to shake it off."
yeah.
Um,
I had some questions for Jordan.
Alright.
So now that we're talking about libraries and we're kind of talking about sounds and all that kind of stuff, I was wondering if you had any kind of like, not maybe like a go-to library, but like some common
sample kit.
sounds, samples, or like things that you like to use in your music to kind of give it.
your signature kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I definitely do have like 3 or 4 go-to kicks
Yeah.
that I know in my sample library that I think sound really good.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, so there's that. There's always like a couple go-to like effects and sweeps that I have that I like throwing at like very beginning of my drop just to give it like that extra layer of just kind of impact,
Yeah.
I guess. What else is there?
Any libraries or any kind of instruments or plugins that you?
Like if
Um,
you started, because you have contact now, and you've
I
been
do have contact. I haven't messed around with it a whole lot, but I mean I only have a couple libraries for it. But
not to say that this is like a shout out to Native Instruments and Contact in any way.
give us money.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that the joke?
they're
Every
just
episode?
they're just a good
Please?
example for
Yeah,
libraries.
they are a
and
good
players.
example.
Yeah.
But if I were to start a session, usually, okay, well, how about we start with my workflow then?
Yeah, well,
I
what's your
usually-
workflow like?
I
'Cause that's
usually
something
try
we don't talk
to-
about.
I usually try to work with like start off with a melody
Yeah.
or a
Mhm.
chord progression or something melodic, I guess, to base the track around.
Oh yeah.
Usually I'll just start off writing a piano or I'll just pick like a random synth plugin and just go
Mhm.
wild.
See, for me, it's like I have to hear the sound, and
Yeah.
then I get the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
The,
Yeah,
the,
some-
the melody
yeah.
goes to
Everyone's
the sound.
different though.
Yeah.
One other thing I feel
I
like
start
it's
with
like
drums.
what was that?
I always start with drums.
Oh, I
always
can
on the
never
rhythm.
start with drums.
For me,
I
it's like
can't
all the
do it.
drums always sound the same. So it's like if I'm gonna start with a
But
4
you
on
know
the
what?
floor, it's a 4 on the floor every
I'm
goddamn
not
time.
I'm not an EDM guy, right?
Yeah, that's
I
true.
Yeah,
write
fair enough.
I write the music that I do write is this weird, crazy, atmospheric, like you would swear it was made just from drugs, or like rock and roll or jazz or stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like it's so. I mean, you got to start with the rhythm, right? Like we think about recording theory, and if anybody listening is a recording artist, you start with your drum and bass,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, you might start with drum and bass as well, or
Mhm.
like melodic, and then you're like, okay, so I got that piano bit.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna put the bass and the drums around it. So now
Mhm.
I have the tempo and whatever.
I feel like that's the whole idea of like the technical side versus the creative side of making music, though, because like when it comes to recording, there are very set ways that are like the most efficient ways to do things. Like you
Mhm.
obviously you want to record your drums first, then you have your drums because of the bass of your track,
it's
Yeah.
what your tempo
and
set
then you
at.
want exactly, and then you want to do your bass behind that, so your bass can really feel the drums,
Mhm.
and then you start layering in everything past that. Whereas like when it comes to actually like writing a song and like I guess doing everything from start to finish inside of a computer, there's really no set way to go about doing
Yeah,
it.
exactly. You can Tarantino it. You can put the end at the beginning.
You can.
You
And then do
never
a
know.
flashback. Has that been done?
Flashback music.
Done flashback music? Like you finish with the end of the track and then it just goes sweep
You should
down and
literally
then
like
flashback.
it flashes back to one of your previous tracks.
It's
Just
like
for
a,
split
it's like a
second.
weird matchup.
I'll just do every single track that I've made, put them all in the same key, and I just play them all at once.
Perfect.
There
There
you
you
go.
go. It's like doing all of Billy Mays at once. If
Oh
you've
god,
never-
Billy Mays here.
yeah, we watched that the other day, and it's literally
Mhm.
just Billy Mays in perfect sync, screaming "Billy Mays here," and then it just like noise because it's like 36 of his infomercials playing at once, and then at one point like they almost sync up to go like the prices, but they're like in a weird delay, like no through the whole track, and then
It's like
It's
throwing
weird. It's one of
17
those-
different delays on it at once, and then
It-
having different
yeah,
settings.
yeah,
Yeah.
like literally, it is one of those. We found the weird part of the internet. That isn't even actually the weird part. That's like the novice weird part
Yeah.
of the internet.
That's like the entry level weird part.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
100%. Okay, you know what? Here's something that like we talk about all the time with doing EDM and stuff. So
Yep.
let's change gears again a little bit here. Like DJing. Like so have you ever done like just an EDM show before?
I have played one high school
like-
dance with
okay.
actually with Aaron there.
It was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Him and I played
you
together.
talked about
that
when we
was
turned
up.
literally it.
That's it.
I
So
don't have
like,
a whole lot of live experience.
where was I going with this? So there's one thing that people do. So like concerts and stuff like that are always like, this is a rock concert
Mhm.
or a rap show
Yeah.
or a punk band, and there's something missing in it, something that like is like weird and interesting in it. That's like I don't, could it use something more? I think. Aaron, what's your opinion on that?
Like
Could it be-
shows.
Could it be mixed maybe?
With mixed genre shows, it really depends who you're trying to pull.
I want to bring up something here with the idea of like live concept dance music albums, stuff like Porter Robinson's Worlds Tour,
Yeah.
or
okay.
like Madion's Adventures or his Pixel Empires Tour,
Yeah.
where he's up there, he's playing his album, but you mean like he's basically like almost remixing it and playing it on the spot using launch pads
Every
and
Daft Punk
controllers. And he's-
concert.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And like Porter Robinson will get there, he'll sing his songs, he'll
Yeah.
play the piano or the keys along with it. So it's like, yeah, it is technically dance music, but it's like, this really works because those are more like concept albums.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Porter Robinson's Worlds album was completely different from everything he ever did before.
Yeah.
He made like hard-hitting, four-on-the-floor electro house kind of stuff.
It also appeals to a different crowd. Though. I feel like
Exactly.
he's got two different audiences. He's got
He
like
does.
his, which is cool.
He does have a lot of people who wish that he would go back to his old style.
Oh,
so that's
for
the whole
sure,
thing. He
yeah.
has like his original followers, and then he has like his Worlds fans. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I feel like with what Drew was kind of asking me with the mixed genres, right? Concerts like Way Home and Osheaga.
Yes.
Those are huge concerts, and
Huge.
they're mixed genre, and they seem to do extremely well. So I mean,
Stuff like Coachella, for example.
Like,
Coachella.
just-
Coachella's a great example.
There you go.
just like the quote, "If you build it, they'll come." Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could build your show, right? And
Yeah.
you'd have your set list of artists. Every one of those artists is going to have fans
Oh, absolutely.
in the area. So regardless, you're going to get people coming to see those, and then you're going to have those people seeing other genres. So I mean, the people buying the tickets to the shows already kind of know that they're going to be seeing multiple genres. I personally love the idea of mixed genres.
100%.
I do
like
too.
it's something that's like
Because-
something for everybody kind of a thing,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like let's say I were to go to Coachella, for example, I'm
Yeah.
not going to go anywhere near a stage that's going to have not a dance music performer on it.
Right.
But I mean, like that's just my own personal preference.
Mhm.
If other people want to, not set foot anywhere near the dance music stages,
Yeah, exactly.
fine by me.
And
yeah, 100%.
I feel
It's
like
like at the end of the day, we're all happy.
and paying $400 for a ticket for like Veld or something, where it's like a 2-3 day.
Veld's more like 200 or so.
Yeah, I just remember tickets used to be like
Tickets are getting really
Tomorrowland.
to
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland's ridiculous.
Okay, well, like
Tomorrowland,
let's think
it's
about
its
it.
own planet.
Tomorrowland in its entirety sold out in 55 minutes.
Yeah, that
I
doesn't
just wanna
say
surprise me.
that.
That doesn't shock me in any way, shape,
See,
or
though, I
form.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do electronic music for like all day for like 3 days. My brain.
No,
would be
my
melted.
insides are
And
hurt.
yeah, but then you got week 2.
There's 2 weeks.
There's 2 weeks to Tomorrowland. They do it over 2 weekends.
God.
Oh.
You literally
Jesus.
you camp there for an
God.
entire week.
I don't
and you
think
do
you're
it
allowed
again.
to walk on the fairgrounds due to like an MDMA high contact for
Yeah.
a good month afterwards.
Like I'm pretty sure magic mushrooms grow out of the mud that's left behind at the end.
Yeah, that's Tomorrowland.
They just got to turn the entire thing into Chernobyl for a week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
exactly. Just shut her down. Just let it clear. Let it
Um,
settle. And let everyone back in.
much. Or
Yeah,
just
it
keep
would be a fun
quarantined
experience,
forever.
so I'll give it that much.
It would be really, really interesting. Actually, friends of mine were going next year, or they are going next year.
That's
I should
pretty
say.
dope.
But yeah, no, it would be an interesting. Like, I wouldn't mind going to Burning Man once, right?
Burning Man, yeah, it's not something I would do multiple times. I don't
Yeah,
think.
like
but
it's
it'd
one
be
of
a
those
cool
like if
experience.
you're kind of young, hip generation, why the hell not? Why not
Mhm.
go experience?
And you want to walk
crazy
around in the desert with no
insanity.
clothes on.
Yeah, there you go. Who doesn't want to walk in the desert with no clothes? I mean, they've written whole songs about that. There's whole genres about that. But anyway, so like speaking of the mixed genre, in the city of London on February the 18th, there's a mixed genre showcase. If you would like to go out, it's going to be at Call the Office. It's an all ages event for those of you who are interested.
Mhm.
It's got a complete show list. I'll put it up on the show doc as usual. It's from 8 to 11 on February the 18th.
$5 at the door.
$5 at the door.
Solid
There will
cover.
be the not too
It's,
bad.
it's really it's a cheap night out.
Absolutely, and Call the Office is a great venue. But yeah, links and description will be up in the show doc. So shout out to those guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's
be.
being all organized by our good friend Nigawana, who is a rapper. He's a great rapper, fantastic. Got
He
another
is.
album coming out soon.
Another,
We hope to have him
another
on
one.
the.
I've never seen
another
someone
one.
write more than him.
Another one.
No,
He
I think
writes
what is
so
was
much
he doing?
music.
100 songs,
100 days you want.
100 days, a song a day, kind of a thing, which
That's
is just
ridiculous.
truly insane, but like inspiring as a
Incredible.
musician.
It really is.
Actually, yeah,
Um,
the mixed genre showcase.
You're gonna be playing that,
I'm gonna
right,
be
Aaron?
DJing it. Yeah.
Rock on.
So how it works
nice.
is like there's gonna be different acts, so everyone is booked and everyone has their slot, and then I'm gonna be doing electronic music and just music kind of in between the acts going up and stuff. So like little mixes and stuff. And if you are in the MIA program actually and you're listening to this and you're interested in wanting to play, it's once a month at Call the Office is what's gonna be like tried to organize. But if you wanna, you're interested in performing in it, shoot me a message, Aaron, and I can pass it on to who needs it, and we'll
Absolutely.
try to get you in there because we want to get all the MIA family performing in that because it's
Heck,
really
any local artists, man. Any local artist, I would think.
it's
Or is
an
it, like,
MIA
strictly sticking
mix.
to
It's
MIA?
an MIA mix
Okay.
showcase. So it's put on from the students in the music industry arts program at Fanshawe.
Okay.
So it's got like people going to see it. They know that they're going to get some form
Yeah,
of quality
legit.
because
Yeah.
So if you're in the MIA program and you want to perform at the Mixed Genre Showcase, shoot me a message. I'll see what I can do. Do my best to get you in. Now, I want to talk about one last kind of thing before we move on
Yeah.
with Jordan about studios and stuff because we talk about professional studios
Mm-hmm.
and we all know that every producer has their own studio setup and
Yep.
how they have everything, how they like at their house. It's not the most professional maybe, but it's what they like.
It's functional.
Yeah, exactly. And
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
Jordan, I
functional.
just wanted
What was
to
that?
get your
Sometimes functional.
opinion. What's your personal at-home studio setup like? What kind of maybe devices
All
do
right.
you like to use or have
Well,
set up?
Well, Drew already mentioned that I use FL Studio to produce.
Yeah.
So FL Studio is my main DAW. I have a pair of KRK Rocket 5s,
Mhm.
which are my monitors. I mean, they're budget monitors.
They're still.
Hey, they're
still
still
cheap.
good
cheap.
monitors.
Yeah, they are decent monitors. I mean, but they were stuff that I bought on a budget because
Yeah.
I only had a
Because you can't buy
part-time source of
$5,000
income.
speakers.
because I can't buy $2,000 pair of
Yeah,
Focals.
exactly.
That's why. What else do I have? I do have dual monitors, which is pretty nice because in FL you can detach the mixer and put it onto a separate page.
Mm-hmm.
So I have my page with the playlist and the channel rack, and then I have my mixer on the second monitor.
Yeah.
That is so important. I want to like shout out to using multiple monitor
Yes.
systems. Like
Mm-hmm.
It is so nice.
once you start using, and like I know there's kind of a debate, and I'm gonna flip gears here in this half second, of using one ultra wide monitor, like say a 32-inch like
Mhm.
high res ultra wide monitor versus multiple monitors.
Yep.
And like while that workflow still works, I don't like it. I find
I'm
I don't like it. I actually would prefer to have two either 1080p or 1440p screens
Yep.
to work with because there needs to be some sort of separation to my workflow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a me thing.
for
Right?
me,
It's all up to personal
I'm
preference.
I can switch between the mixer and the kind of
Yeah, no, I can too. Like if I take,
creation page.
I have my laptop as my main computer.
Mhm.
So what I do is I have my laptop set on a stand off to the side, and then I just hook up through HDMI to a
Yeah.
TV. So it's like when I'm coming down to the studio to work here, I only have my laptop, and that's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But when it comes to like actually,
it's a luxury.
yeah, sitting in my room working on it, all I have to do is look to my right. And, oh, there's my mixer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty nice.
See, I just like the widescreen because it gives me that extra work space when I'm making the music, so I
Mhm.
can look at more and kind of.
Yeah.
The only thing
that's
I
why
wish-
I don't mind like 1440p screen because it's just so much real estate.
See, I would almost take an ultra wide monitor and then flip it on its side so that it's
Oh, do
standing up,
vertical.
doing like a yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Just because like I find I want more like
Vertical
space
height.
going down. I don't necessarily need more going over.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
But that's just when I'm creating music too. At the same time, like,
Yep.
picture having
You
best
stack,
of both-
stack two screens,
best of both worlds. You get two ultra wide monitors,
and then
and
run
you
it
get
in
the
parallel
dual
like that.
monitors, and you get the widescreen.
There you
That'd
go.
be
Yeah,
fantastic.
that would actually be a really good
Mhm.
setup.
But to wrap up my setup, because
Yeah,
I haven't
so
mentioned
here's your
everything
setup
yet,
there.
I have a Samson Carbon Key 49 MIDI keyboard. It's
Oh, yeah.
just a cheap, generic MIDI keyboard. You know,
Hey man, MIDI's MIDI. That's
play
all
out
you need.
melodies. It's whatever.
Mhm.
I have a Pioneer DDJ SX2, which is a pretty solid controller.
Yep.
I very much enjoy it. I think that basically covers everything. Oh, I have a Focusrite Scarlett 2i4 sound card.
Okay,
Nice.
cool.
I think that's about everything.
To wrap up, kind of, we were just pretty heavily talking about audio right there.
Yeah.
To kind of wrap that segment up, I just wanted to announce the plugin of the week to kind of
Yeah, let's
keep
wrap this little audio
things,
thing up here with the plugin of the week.
Mhm.
yeah, kind of in a theme. So this week I had, well, this is a plugin I use quite a bit. It's a Sonatina orchestral plugins. There's like cellos, double basses, all different instruments, and you can download them for Windows and Mac. They're on vst4free.com. That is VST4 free.com,
And it will be in the doc.
and it'll be in the doc.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of the plugins on that website are like, I think they're homemade ones that like aren't crazy awesome, but the
Okay.
Sonatina ones are actually really, really good.
Nice.
So if you want to go check those out, you'll get some pretty decent sounding core sounds. You probably
Absolutely.
won't get like the best cello or the best double bass, but you'll get that core sound that you can work with. And if you want to start working with strings and you don't have any string plugins, or you don't want to spend $100-$200 on some kind of professional orchestral,
Contact libraries.
exactly, you
Hey,
can.
follow
we're back.
contact.
We're full round back to contact.
Yeah, you can get some free Sonatina orchestral plugins, so check those out.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? To add on to that thing too, if you're a Reddit user on the audio subreddit forum, so there's an audio engineering subreddit. There's also a VST subreddit, and there's actually a list of there's a currently rotating list of the free stuff. Also free right now from Isotope. They've also got their digital delay plugin for free until I believe it said March the 10th. Again, there'll be a link in the doc. So yeah, so like the Sonatina is really good. I actually was looking at it the other day. They're for basic sounds, man. They're not kidding. It's actually pretty tight. So if you're getting into music production and stuff like that, like I highly recommend giving them a try. I mean, they're free, right? There's no cost to the admission, so give them give them a little go around. But you know what isn't free?
You know it's not free?
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl is really expensive, actually.
Really goddamn expensive.
I just want to say one thing really quickly.
Yeah.
Because of this program, I'm glad that I no longer have to pretend to care about sporting events.
Yeah,
I
right?
know, right?
but you know how many people? I will guarantee you that people bought tickets or tuned in to see the stupid halftime show.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, last time Katy Perry did a pretty decent job last year.
I didn't
But
even
like,
see
shout
it.
out to Left Shark,
Yeah, no,
right? Like, if you've been on the internet,
Left
everybody
Shark,
knows about
yeah.
the Left Dance
Left
of Shark.
Shark.
That
Oh,
was what
yeah.
that whole halftime show was. This year around, it was Beyonce nearly taking a nosedive, trying to do some stupid dance move, and B, the internet loving her last time because this is like the second time she's
They
done.
always get the safest artists.
Yeah.
Well,
on
that's
Super
where
Bowl.
I was going with, right?
It's
like, there's
it's
no
understandable, but
'Cause
like,
it's like it has to be an all ages kind of thing. You
Well,
know?
it's not even all ages. It's because they're trying to draw people into Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
How do you draw a young audience? Look, we have Beyonce.
Bruno
doing the
Mars and Coldplay,
Yeah, Bruno Mars and
Okay.
Coldplay. Like,
most popular artists ever.
Yeah.
They're
right?
all
Like,
playing together.
it's you want that because it's going to draw in not even like the majority. It's going to draw in the safe majority, right?
Yeah.
So like music included, like music industry as a corporate
Well-
event and everything else runs on not. If they could have the whole world, they would, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, they would. But what they really care about is the safe majority.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
if they could do something more edgy and get 20 million people,
Mhm.
they're not going to do it because they'd rather make sure that they are going to ensure they're going to get
Which,
10 million people with
Yeah.
you
the
know,
safe bet.
I mean, we sound like we're kind of being harsh on it, but at the same time, it's an event that's been running for 50 years. You can't really take a chance.
No,
with
absolutely
something
Yeah,
not.
like
exactly.
that.
We're harsh on
And-
it, but at the same time, you're right.
Yeah,
It's business, right? You
it's-
got to go. It's going to make you money.
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
I'm still waiting for Martin Garrix to go up there during the halftime show.
when you think about
Play
it,
animals over and over again.
Yep.
when you think about it though, like it's a football game. Like
Yeah.
you're listening. Like what football player is listening to fucking Bruno Mars, Beyonce, and Coldplay
Not a
get-
single goddamn
to get
one.
pumped up? You know what I mean? None of them
None.
are. If you were to play some
Coldplay,
realistic
that's my
fitting
hype music.
music, you'd have some like heavier stuff being played. I mean, you'd appeal to quite a few people.
It
But
has
like,
a lot of profane language in it. I can
not even
imagine.
that.
Go.
Bruce Springsteen was a great halftime show.
Yeah.
yeah, it
That's a
doesn't
hell
even
of a
have to be
halftime
pump up
show.
music. Just like Beyonce at a football game.
It's because there's like, man, most football fans are what would you put their age range?
Mm-hmm.
Like demographics wise, if we're gonna use the American style demographics, middle aged, white, slightly fat dude, about 40 years old, drinking beer. That's their target football
You
audience.
just
by
described
and
my
large.
papa minus 20 years.
There you go. Right? Like that's kind of what it is, or older, right? Like 40 to 60.
There's younger people that like
that's
football.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
100%. But they're more into, I think, college ball, especially in the States.
Uh,
Like, there's people that I know.
Fantasy football, man. Fantasy football is huge. That's like the
Yeah,
only
no, I'll
thing
give you that.
Yeah, see,
would
I'm completely out of
say
this
that-
conversation because I did not follow this.
Yeah, I know. What fantasy
Middle
football?
I'm
ball.
amused.
Just
I love it
middling.
when like our professors will ask, "Oh, hey, who's watching the sports game tonight?" And nobody raises their hands. Like, "Oh yeah, right. I'm talking to a group of musicians."
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, if you said hockey game, I would probably be like, what game is it? Oh, it's not any team I care about? Never mind.
Yeah.
hmm
I mean,
I follow baseball. That's
Mhm.
my sport, but
I guess
you
it's
literally picked the word. There's only golf is worse. And I like golf, so I mean, I don't know what that's about.
I don't really care. I know I know baseball. You know, you harp on me for using FL, and they're gonna harp on me for watching and playing baseball.
No, that's cool. Hey, you got a bill of a baseball player, so I mean,
What was that?
You look like you could actually play a mean game of baseball.
hmm
Like you're like a gazelle with long arms. Like I can run,
Yeah.
hit, and catch.
Does-
Like,
does
you
it-
think that's going over my
Does
head?
it does it
Nah.
does it surprise you that I was a first baseman?
No, not at all.
There you go.
100%. That actually makes perfect sense.
I was actually reading up somewhere. Someone took a picture of their like, it was like row 2 of
Yeah.
the Super Bowl tickets. And it was like 2 tickets, and it was like $14,000
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something. It's like
I remember like NBA March Madness. I think tickets were going for like $1,500 each.
That
Yeah.
doesn't shock me. You know what? And not just just sports or that. Music does it too.
I know.
Paul McCartney was here in the fall. Paul McCartney tickets, I think floor tickets were $1,800 a piece.
Oh yeah.
First
Oh,
row,
God.
center, like not even good seats because you're in the ACC at the back.
But
Yeah.
Paul's there.
And like it will exactly,
but
but
Paul
like they're not
McCartney's
even
there.
that great at seats because you're low down. You're not going to see a hell of a whole lot. You're at the back of the hall, which if anybody studied reverb knows it's a shit place to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's bad. It's no good. It's absolutely no good. They were the most expensive tickets. I would rather be side stage, level 3, which were still $200 or $300 a
Mhm.
piece, but you get the whole stage. You're not
Mhm.
going to get much delay.
I mean, like, okay, Adele, when she
Sounds
came
great.
to ADC, I mean, again, she just released her new album, and Hello has been like the biggest song in like the history of like the last 5 or 10 years or so.
hmm
But
yeah, only album to go double platinum last year.
yeah,
I actually
exactly.
have a comment on something after you finish.
Yeah. So she went and played in the ADC or ADC. Sorry, that's our performance room.
Yes. don't come
ACC.
here.
Yeah, don't come here. She went and played at the Air Canada Centre, and I think floor tickets were like $500 a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Bieber tickets are like super expensive
Yeah.
too.
And like even the weekend, I think had 500.
Oh yeah, I
No,
mean
I
like
think I
any
paid when
I
big
saw-
act that's on the radio.
And he's
you're
been
gonna be
around.
paying
He's
that.
been relevant for what, the last 2 years? Year or
Yeah,
so?
but I
Yeah.
mean like the thing
Like
is
he
that-
hasn't been
just
around.
it.
Like
That's
he hasn't been
just-
around for that long, and all of a sudden he's charging $500 at Air Canada.
does-
But
Doesn't
it's not
matter
even
what artist
necessarily
it
what
is.
he's charging too, right? Like there's
Fair enough. Fair
with
enough.
Ticketmaster and
Yeah.
like this, and like there's a whole other economy based on show tickets and all
Yeah.
that shit. Like
Yeah.
the concert goes live ticket sales at 10 a.m. 10:03, 20,000 tickets and they're fucking sold.
Yep.
How? There's no possible way that many tickets were bought in 3 minutes.
No.
And that's because of the, like StubHub and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and they pre-sell them, or some guy's got a fiber line, and like they're a guy who's an IT expert
Or someone
who's
goes.
got
and-
a dedicated 10 gigabit fiber network line because he has to telecommute to work, tried an experiment with 6 browsers on like 6 different computers, and all had them queued up to empirically test the network, and their servers shit the bed within the first minute, and at like 10:04 all tickets were gone. But conveniently, there was over 1,000 tickets on StubHub.
Yeah.
bullshit, man. Like
It is.
especially as artists, that's really discouraging to us, man.
It
Like
is.
I
Because
I
you've got
want
somebody.
people to enjoy
it's-
my show.
StubHub, is that like they aren't legal?
It's
They're not like
semi-legal.
they're like kind of like Ticketmaster, but like a
They're
second
owned by
layer.
Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster owns StubHub now,
Oh,
I
really?
think, or owns the subsidiary that owns the subsidiary that owns StubHub.
Okay, so
And
they're
it's like
kind
it's
of
legal scalping,
yeah.
effectively.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're kind of like scalping in a sense like that.
No, it's
like
100% scalping.
You're taking an artist's tickets and you're jacking up the price just to make money on it
Yeah,
yourself.
like a 10-20% return on the ticket price. So if the ticket price is $500, you're gonna get like $700 or $800 for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just ridiculous.
It's
Now, Jordan,
disgusting.
you said that "Hello" was like the most popular song in the past 10 years.
That was me just throwing it out there. I have no
I'll
idea
show
if
you
that's
the-
actually
You
true.
want
or
to
Okay,
not.
you want to
so-
hear the real most popular song in the past?
So we're gonna do
10
a bit of a
years.
bit. As you guys know, we like to play games. We try and do funny stuff.
That's how you
We're
come up with
gonna
your show
play-
titles.
Yeah, man, this is how we do it. So we're gonna play a clip here, and first of all, we're gonna walk you through it.
Okay.
And the first thing I want to know is, I'm gonna play the clip for you, and then I want you to tell me what song it is.
Okay.
Okay? Can we do that?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So here we go. All right. So judging by the look on his face, he already knows what it is. What is the song?
Every single YouTube comment ever last year, Darude Sandstorm.
It is Darude Sandstorm. It is indeed Darude Sandstorm. So we're gonna continue playing it here, and we're gonna listen to it. And I want you to tell me what you think of this song as we play it. And like, is it like
Killing it for you.
killing it for you? Do you like the remix? Like what's your deal here?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and say I've already seen this video.
Hey, everybody in the internet's already seen this
Yes, it's some guy playing Darude Sandstorm on a toy trumpet.
Yeah.
video. Yeah, 100%.
Man, you got the video and everything. Good for you.
So like that song though, like that is like a song that defined like the 90s, or
Yeah.
not even 90s.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
when did that
Early
even come out?
2000s, man.
Early 2000s.
Okay, here's the thing with Darude Sandstorm. I saw everyone commenting, and I'm like, what the hell are these people saying? So I went and I listened to the song,
like
and
the
all of a sudden
internet
it's like dun 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 dun, and I'm like, okay. And all I hear is dun 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 dun, and I'm like, I know this song.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a shitty song too, but it's, you know
It's
what?
so
I
good.
can't even lie
Man,
and
you
not
can't
say
say
that I
it's
didn't
shitty.
have that on a freaking
The
CD
Playlist.
the amount
on
of
fucking loop in a car.
I
in
remember
like the
I was
early
watching
2000s.
Ultra Music Festival, which is a big
Yeah.
dance music festival that happens down in Florida,
Huge,
actually
huge.
in about a month from now or so. I was watching the live stream of it, and all of a sudden, Dash Berlin all of a sudden just randomly played Darude Sandstorm, and I was just like, yes. So it's like I think the whole reason why I brought that up is like it's almost starting to make a resurgence because of that.
Mhm.
Like it's being played at a lot of festivals, and like Darude is almost kind of relevant.
You know,
again.
well, the thing is, like, we talk. Well, I don't know if we've necessarily talked about it on the podcast, but there's songs that are timeless. There's
Yeah.
timeless songs like "Every Breath You Take" by The Police. That was one that we talked about quite
Yeah,
a bit.
and like it's
And I feel like there's literally "Sandstorm" is the only timeless EDM song that I've
and
ever
not
heard.
because it's good, and not even
No,
because it's actually
because
timeless,
it's
right?
a meme.
Exactly, right? Like
Because
the
it's
internet has
Sandstorm.
fallen in love with it, and it will exist forever, forever and all time, forever. And ever.
We need to make a Sandstorm. You make a Sandstorm, and you don't have to make
That's how you
another
do
one.
it.
Yeah,
You're right. The first
He's
one.
probably
did
Well,
well.
I
getting
think
so
it's
much
something
money
like-
from
like,
that.
Oh,
um,
absolutely. You know he still makes money off of it.
Oh, 100%.
absolutely.
Well, he's still
Yeah.
collecting performance royalties and
Well,
everything.
think of
Think-
something like
Think about Dash Berlin playing it at
yeah.
Ultra Music Festival. There's 75,000 people that I just got played to from a live performance at
Oh,
main
there you go.
stage.
And you know, there's
Or-
people like, oh, I'm gonna download that shit.
Oh hell yeah! And like you look at it and go, there's so like timeless songs for different reasons, and it's like the internet fell in love with it, and like maybe he kind of faded it into obscurity, and then all of a sudden somebody was like, "That's my joke,"
Yep.
and I'm gonna throw that out there, and somebody went with it. No, I'm gonna take you seriously, and I'm gonna run with it.
Yep.
And everybody kind of forgot that it was a joke and fell back in love with it, like "Never Gonna Give You Up," right?
Oh,
God.
my god.
Right?
There you go.
Okay, my mom used to play that shit in the car. Rick Astley, never
Rick
gonna give you up.
Astley is the
My
man.
mom was Rick rolling me before that shit was even a thing.
And you know what's funny?
Get
he fucking
wrecked.
hates that song.
Oh, I know.
He hated that song.
Oh, probably. Listen
And
to the
it's-
lyrics.
Like he
Never
made,
gonna
it made him
give you
so much money.
Never gonna let you down. Never
Sorry,
gonna
sorry.
run around and
desert you.
Oh, dude, that's gold.
There you go. Somebody remix
Those
that.
lyrics
Oh,
are
Aaron and I
gold.
are gonna remix that.
Absolutely. I think we're gonna start that right when we hit end.
Exactly like that. Your voices. I want to hear it.
Perfect.
Yeah, man.
Auto tune the shit out of it.
It's timeless. Like timeless songs are like this whole new thing now, right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
don't necessarily like Every Breath You Take is a great timeless
You know what
song
I feel like?
because it's a good song, but this is like the internet is like a dog with a bone that is like the dog is dead and yet the bone
Mhm.
is still shaking, right?
Yeah.
Like
You know, like I feel like with a lot of these, like, and I say like air quotes, timeless songs.
yeah.
I feel like a lot of these timeless songs are like, not so much. These aren't even songs that are awesome. I just feel like it's songs that people think are awesome. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
well, everyone must think that like everyone thinks Sandstorm's awesome, so I guess it's awesome. I'm gonna say Sandstorm's awesome. Now we're nearing the end of the show, and near the end of the show, we have a little segment where I like to ask a question to the people in the studio.
I know what the other
So-
questions were because I've seen the other podcast. I'm kind of scared to see what you have now.
So Aaron, what do you got for us this week, sir?
All right, Drew. This
God.
week, my question. It's not too bad. Come on, you haven't even heard it
We
yet.
got to be semi-professional. I mean,
Well,
we
I've
did
heard,
try and
I've
fucking
heard the
mermaid
other
last
ones.
week,
I
but-
mean, you're currently 2 for 2 in the concept of weird questions.
Perfect.
Oh,
That's
we're
what
gonna be
that's what
3
we
for
roll
3,
for.
bud. Okay, so
Is that the title of the episode? 3 for 3, bud.
yeah,
We came up with the title before you even asked the question.
so we know throughout history there have been artists such as my good pal Marvin Gaye who makes quite sexual music. Music you'd want to maybe get down to.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Music you'd really want to get down to. And my question this week was, picture a song like Sexual Healing or something. Something like, obviously you're meant to get down to this song, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking in my head, what are some unconventional songs to get down to?
Oh dear.
And
God.
my question is, if you were to pick an unconventional but surprisingly worked hookup song, what would it be? Now, I've had some extra time, so I'll let you guys just think about it for a little bit while I keep talking. I've already came up with 2 songs.
I'm gonna go through my music library real quick and
Do
see if
it.
I can find something.
Okay?
No, it's cheating. Put the phone down.
And this is what I was thinking. Welcome to the Jungle
Oh my
by Guns N' Roses.
Oh my god, that is like the angriest sex music I could possibly think of without being like Children of Bodom.
And my second
What was
Is it-
your second choice?
is Enter Sandman by Metallica.
Oh.
So
That's
you
just-
boys,
that's a dark tone.
you boys got to work with Welcome to the Jungle and Enter Sandman.
I don't know if I could top that.
If you could pick
No,
one
I got one. I got one.
unconventional hookup song, what would it be, Drew?
Hate Crew Death Roll, Children of Bodom.
Hate Crew
I don't
Death
think I
Roll.
don't know that song.
Probably not. It's like Finnish death metal.
So Finnish death metal. Drew likes to take his women out on a nice date, maybe something romantic, a nice walk, maybe flowers, maybe chocolates, and then he comes back and
I like
know,
to drench myself in pig blood and
he-
make love to the worst kind of music you can
turns the
imagine.
lights down so they're just barely dim. He puts on the record, and then bam, Children of Bodom.
Exactly.
And she's
Just-
on. She's on it.
There you go.
She loves it. So Jordan, if you had to pick like,
All right,
is
I'm
it-
gonna go more of a quirky route here, I guess, because you guys have kind of more like hard hitting songs.
oh yeah,
I'm gonna say "Walking on Sunshine."
Oh, that's a great one. I
Yeah.
didn't even go that route.
yeah, that is a pretty
Smash
good one.
Mouth. Anything by Smash Mouth. Doesn't even matter what song. Let's just put the whole All Stars album on.
Yeah,
I mean, it's only going to last like the first 35 seconds of the first song, but like you'll have the whole rest of the album to cry about it, right?
the whole Shrek soundtrack you could hook up to.
Shrek. Oh, what is that song that the
I'm a
Beatles song they
Believer.
used? I'm a Believer.
That's not a Beatles song. That's a monkey song.
or a Monkey song, whatever. It's all the same shit.
A Beatles song, Jesus man.
Beatles, monkeys. Yeah, I think those are, as far as like unconventional hookup songs
Talking
go.
about monkeying around.
Yeah. So it looks like
Ba-doom.
we're 3 for 3. We are 3
Three
for
for three, bud.
We are 3 for 3.
Now, so this is nearing the end of our podcast. I want to bring things back to Jordan for a little bit before we sign off because this podcast was really about him. And we
Putting
didn't
him on the spot.
we didn't really go into
Yay.
too many specifics on our good friend Jordan Shore here. I'm gonna fire off some questions at you,
Go for it.
and this is kind of like your shit. This is your time, bud.
All right.
So, when did you start making music?
About August of 2013 was when I kind of got serious about it.
Okay, cool.
That is oddly specific.
Hey man.
Like-
Because it was the end of the summer going into grade 11.
Okay.
That's how I know that.
Okay.
Because
Cool,
like
cool.
I couldn't tell.
So
you.
you've been making music for like almost 3 years,
Coming up about 2.5.
and
Yeah.
you've got a couple tips and tricks that you've taught me in regards to getting yourself kind of out there, getting yourself noticed in a certain way. Because I know that you have done very well for yourself right now on SoundCloud. You're growing pretty fast actually, and it's really awesome to
it's
see that.
awesome. I love seeing
And,
artists do that. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, do you have any kind of tips or tricks? Maybe like, what kind of advice would you give to an artist just starting off to kind of boost themselves to at least where you are? Because you're on like a really good first step, second step type thing.
Yeah.
What would you tell someone?
I would say first off, you got to make sure your music's good. Because if your
Mhm.
music's not good, it's not going to do anything for you.
That's a
exa-
valid
That's
statement.
that's a
Yeah.
given.
Mhm.
But other than that, try to find people who have larger followings than you who will be willing to share your music.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Stuff
it's
like
networking, man. All
Networks
about networking.
that will share your music, promo channels on YouTube that will share your music,
Mhm.
anything on any social media site, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. People who have a following that you can exploit.
Oh,
Basically,
absolutely.
that's it.
Yeah, and there's other websites. Like if you're interested in SoundCloud, there's tons of websites that'll help you get followers and kind of not get the followers
It's
for you, but
promotion.
make the arter or make the followers easier to find you. Sorry, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something you've been really good at. You've been definitely showing me and a couple other artists kind of things that you've been doing to kind of further yourself.
Mhm.
Now, you've been working really hard on a lot of new music. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
And we're going to feature one of your songs right now. I just want you to talk a little bit about that song and what it is.
Okay, well, the song that I've decided to play is my newest track that I released called Solace and Torment.
Rock on.
The whole idea behind the track was to kind of create like a contrast between happy and sad,
Okay.
because there's solace,
Yeah.
happy, torment, obviously not happy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Then the way that I feel like I accomplished that was the very first half of the melody was I was about to sing it right there, and I kind of thought better of that.
Good
But
choice.
it kind of starts off it is in the original song, because there's two different versions of it
Yeah.
that I've
Yeah.
created. The original was in D minor, so I'm just going to reference that because I know it better off the top of my head.
Mhm.
The melody starts on D, and then it resolves on F, which is the relative major of it.
Mhm.
So it kind of has like more of a happy feel to it, and it has a lot more like wider intervals, I guess. So it kind of leads to more like a happy feel. And then the chords are D minor and then F major. So a good happy sounding progression.
Mhm.
And then it goes into like a weird seventh chord. I don't remember what it is. And then like the next two chords are kind of more like emotional and like ominous, I
Yeah.
guess. And then the second half of the melody accents a minor second interval on it, so it kind of has like more like sad feeling in the second half.
Okay, cool.
Rock on, man.
Now
So yeah,
we're
we're gonna
quickly toss on a little snippet of that.
we'll just give it a little listen there, and
all of you
we'll
can
let you
enjoy
guys
that.
hear it. Sounds pretty dope. I like it.
Yeah,
you.
I've had that song stuck in my head actually for probably since I've heard it. Honestly, that melody is really, really catchy.
And I probably should have, prefaced the super heavy drop in there, but
Yeah, well,
That's
you
okay.
know,
It's okay.
I'll forgive you, but you only get one.
Okay.
Now, this is probably the end of our show. We had quite a good journey talking
Delightful
about.
day. Where can people find you, Jordan, if they want to?
Yeah, that's what I was
Sure,
gonna
that's
go into.
SoundCloud.com/Jordan Shore Music, Facebook.com/Jordan Shore Music, Twitter.com/Jordan Shore. Couldn't get the music in there because it was too long for a Twitter handle. Yeah, all my stuff's pretty uniform. If you Google me on Google, I'm the very first thing that pops up.
Okay, cool.
I'll just
And
say that.
Rock on. And
Jordan,
obviously,
Jordan Shore is spelled Jordan
SCHOR.
is spelled normal, but SCHOR.
yeah, and obviously it'll be all in the sound doc, and we'll link to you on the SoundCloud and all that
Mhm.
kind of fun stuff.
Exactly.
So Aaron, we learned a lot of stuff today. We learned that commercial music is commercial.
Mhm.
D-Route is timeless. That Jordan is a badass music producer.
And he wants to fuck to Walking on Sunshine.
Yeah.
There you go.
FL Studio isn't terrible. I'm kind of a giant scrub lord.
And apparently, I am the worst person in the world, according to Drew, because I produce an FL and I play baseball.
There
Exactly.
you go.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Double Platinum Podcast.
Yes. If you haven't done so already, my SoundCloud is Avron Music. We also have the Double Platinum Podcast on SoundCloud. You can check me out on Twitter. Avron Music is my Twitter handle. You can find me on Facebook if you really want. It's Aaron Carter, just like the singer. Haha, that's awesome. And Drew, he's got some links.
Yeah, you can link. I'll put all my stuff in the show doc. I won't waste your time listening to my filth. But anyway, guys, like we're saying, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.